Today I begin the Retro Glory Hunter Challenge against my dad, using the Mad Scientist 0708 Retro database, with the added ability that real players coming through as new gens year by year at their starting clubs. The Challenge of Glory Hunter is the first to win the league and cup in the 5 European leagues, as well as the Champions League and UEFA Cup. And to switch it up a bit, we've also decided to add Portugal into the 5 playable leagues, which is where we decided to both start this Glory Hunter Challenge. And so the race to complete Glory Hunter begins. Dad, we're back with Glory Hunter.
Yeah, looking forward to this.
Absolutely. In a retro database.
Have I learned enough to take you on properly this one?
Well, there we go. We think we fixed the problem that we had last time. We have made Dad's age a lot less. He is 31, he wishes. And you've also decided to go with Benfica.
Yeah. Well, they're my favourite Portuguese side of it.
Yeah.
So it was a no-brainer for me. See, we were both going to start in Portugal.
Yeah.
So
we made that decision quite as soon as we decided to put Portugal in there instead of the French league, because we personally feel like the Portuguese league is stronger. We were both like, let's both manage in the Portuguese league to begin with. Let's start the rivalry immediately against each other and try and...
that's what you guys like.
Yeah, exactly, and see what happens. So Dad is, of course, with Benfica. I am with Sporting. Now, the players that you will see, of course, from the 2007 database from the Mad Scientist is just beautiful to see if you have ever played the old retro versions of this before and remember playing like FM08, for example. So we have made some signings. Dad, you had quite a lot of money, actually.
I was fortunate. I had 12 million because we started in August, so
yeah.
I had 12 million to spend, so it really helped me because I did have a few weaknesses in the team.
You did, yeah. I didn't have that. I had about 3 or 4 million, but I still managed to spend some money. Now, I sold a couple of players as well, and I have brought in Thiago Silva as a first signing.
When we see this, it's great to see him out here just starting his career, and it really, and we know what he's like at this present moment. So
he's been around at this point. For
definitely,
like 5 years, whatever it is. So yeah, and he's 22, and this is before he actually moved to Portugal.
And he's good there as well.
Yeah.
So
already a fantastic signing. He goes straight into my starting 11 as one of my best centre-backs, and for just £2.1 million from Fluminense.
Good signing.
A fantastic signing, absolutely. I then was quite weak in the right-back position, so I brought in Francois Clet from the French division. He has fantastic crossing ability. That pace and acceleration is unbelievable. He's very good for the price of just £2.1 million. And finally, I had a couple of players, including the Edson, who you'd seen earlier, who was complaining about squad depth on the left-hand side. So I loaned in the Sampdoria player in Bellucci, who is quite good and can play in loads of different positions. Very good with both feet too. So I'm happy with that. My starting 11 tactics looks like this. It looks very top-heavy. I originally went for a position like this. However, I have a lot of really good strikers. And if I went best 11, you can see this. It goes like into a 3 up front. However, I have also got Purovic, who can play up front and is a really good target forward. So he can fit in there as much as what he needs to play. There are some familiar names. Rui Patricio is my reserve goalkeeper at 19, who's actually obviously the Wolves goalkeeper now, which is quite funny. And then you can see a couple of players that you might recognise in the midfield. Miguel Veloso being one of them, who was a bit of a wonder kid on Football Manager. And of course, João Moutinho, who's had an excellent career at Monaco and then Wolves as well. So some great players that I've got in my side. I think out of the 3 big Portuguese teams, I do have the worst of the 3. Porto are very good on this. They've got Raul Meireles. We'll look at Porto first. They've got Raul Meireles. They've got Lucho Gonzalez, if you remember how fantastic he was as a midfielder. They have got some unbelievable players. So their midfield is unbelievable. Raul Meireles, of course, was a cracking player too. And they've even got an ex-Spurs manager in goal in Espirito Santo. But let's have a look at Dad's Benfica side, because you've brought in some players as well. And you have, of course, had £12 million to spend straight away. And you even sold a player, Petit, for £4.6 million.
Yeah, I was pleased with this, selling this guy. Yeah, so Lazio coming just at the right time when I needed to buy someone else.
Fiorentina, actually.
Was it Fiorentina? Sorry, yeah. And they come in just a bit more money than I thought I was going to get. So, which helped me out big stuff for one position. I mean,
he's very good. I was surprised that you didn't want to let him go when he had 20 aggression.
Yeah.
But there we go.
He wasn't starting in my starting 11 though. Best name, so
fair enough. But the players that you've brought in, some iconic names in the world of Football Manager, I think. So Tay Wee, I always remember trying to sign him at left back.
Yeah. This is one of the positions I was weak. So
yeah, I feel like he would just come into the squad and just make everybody happy.
Yeah, he did.
That smile. Yeah. I'm like, hey, Tay Wee's here. Oh, get on, mate. I fucking love that guy. So £2.1 million. He's already got a goal and an assist from you from left back. Yeah, so brilliant. He started off unbelievably well. Then I'm going to go to Varela because I'm going to leave Pazzini last. Yeah. So Varela is the right-sided midfielder. Again, fantastic Uruguayan 29-year-old from Schalke, £3 million, bit of a steal, 2 goals, 3 assists, great average rating as well. You also stole their right back.
Yep.
And this one's even better, of course. What you actually spent the most money on as well.
Yeah, this is my last signing. This is the one I got rid on the transfer deadline because I sold that other player and I was struggling to get a right back in, a good one. Yeah. Oh, this one, I just couldn't believe my luck. I got him as well.
Yeah. He is absolute mustard. The Brazilian Rafinha. This is before he went to Barcelona and played alongside the likes of Lionel Messi and Ronaldinho.
So as you can see, he hasn't played a game for me yet because I only just got him.
Just got him in on deadline day, the 1st of the 9th. And then finally, Gianpaolo Pazzini, one of my favourite Italian players of this era, coming through. 23 years of age. Look how good he is.
I just couldn't believe how much I paid for this guy. Got him in as well.
I was so jealous that you had money.
Yeah.
Because the team that you can then bring in for the price that you've paid is unbelievable. 7 in 4 with 3 assists
and his average rating.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This guy's being gone and he's
I'm like,
already there.
How did he only get 1 player of the match?
Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely mental.
So $6.5 million for this guy. I've got
cracking player. Yeah. The only downside I would say is that first touch, anticipation, and composure's 14 is quite good to be fair. But that first touch and anticipation. Other than that, I think he's phenomenal, and he's really good in the air too. Like jump and reach and strength's high, heading ability is good. What a cracking signing that is, Dad.
Yeah,
must admit, very jealous of that.
I'm really pleased with the team I've got now.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are familiar names in Dad's team too, including one of my all-time favourite players. Not from this era, though. This is at the end of his career, and he doesn't actually go into your starting 11, but he does make your bench, and he is your captain.
Yeah.
It's Rui Costa. An iconic player for me, because I just absolutely loved the bloke from when he was at Fiorentina, and of course AC Milan as well, during that era as well, when, you know, they had like Kaká and stuff. So, great players. Di Maria, I'm not a fan of.
No,
there we go. He's a great player.
There's a few players that just starting their careers, and he's obviously just one of them.
Yeah.
And then the centre back is another one.
David Luiz.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves David Luiz, don't they? But he's in the lineup too, and he's very good on this game at the start of his career, just 20 years of age, and his first season at Benfica. So some fantastic players. Oscar Cardoza is another one. I absolutely loved him in Football Manager. He's only 24 years of age, which is unbelievable. So this is what the retro database does, and the best thing about it, of course, which I've already mentioned in the intro, is we've got all of the real life new gens. So we know we're going to end up going close to 20 years.
Yeah.
Which has gone past where we are in present day.
So that's brilliant.
So at some point, the likes of Harry Kane's going to come through, Kylian Mbappe. We may even see a Jude Bellingham knocking around at the start of his career at Birmingham, and see where he ends up going instead of going to Dortmund and then Real Madrid. Erling Haaland. All of these iconic players right now.
There's so much fun going to happen, isn't it?
They're just being born.
Yeah.
Well, they're a little bit older than that. They're a little bit older than that. But we're going to see them at some point. So I'm really excited. Let's have a look at the schedule so far. Dad, you've won all 4 games.
Yeah.
5-0, 9-1, only just, 6-1, and Braga, which was kind of a difficult one for you, 5-3 at their iconic stadium that we both love. We are also both in the Champions League. I had to qualify, which we'll see in a sec, but it's the old style groups. Now, I haven't seen what it's like in the future, but hopefully the Mad Scientist database, the retro database, which again, I'll leave links in the description. They're amazing. He is the best retro database guy. I mean, Mr. Tiny's very good as well, but it's so good. They're so detailed. I'm hoping it stays like the group stage, because then the Europa League might be a little bit easier than what we struggled with previously.
Yeah, we could do winning that one really early, couldn't we?
Yeah. So Benfica, Celtic, Lazio, and this team from Albania, who I've never heard of. So that's a nice little group for you.
positive on this one. I think I'll go through on that one.
You should do, yeah. I mean, Celtic are quite good because it's 2008, so they've got, 2007, 2008. So, yeah, they've got some good players in there. Let's have a look at how I did in my starting fixtures. So, I've also won every single game so far, and with a lot of goals as well. As I said, I had to qualify in the Champions League. I beat SV Ried and then Marseille. So, I think it was a good decision for us to bump out France for Portugal. We just felt like we wanted a bit more, well, we wanted to add the Portuguese league in anyway, because we both love it. And France was the one to unfortunately drop out in that. But I beat them 3-0 and 2-1. We've also got a 3-1 win here, 4-0 against the team you beat, 9-1, and then Aves 5-0 away from home. So it was a good start. I played one less game than you, but I do have the Super Cup against Porto coming up very soon.
Oh, this is a good thing as well. We have Porto, which are a very good side in our league as well. Like when we always play in the Portuguese league, they just cause us problems all the time, don't they? So that's going to be more fun for us as well, because they
famously caused us a lot of trouble in the rebuilds we've done in Portugal, which has been a lot of fun. So far, Dad, in the Portuguese First Division, we're all at 100%, but I've played 3 games. You played 4. Porto's played 5. Neither of us have yet to play Porto or anybody kind of tricky. I mean, I guess Marseille was a bit of a test for me to get into the Champions League, but you have scored 20. Well, you got 20 plus goal 20 goal difference. So yeah, you're looking on fire right now, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens in this first season. Our aims, of course, is the Taça de Portugal Placar, which is the FA Cup version. This is basically the League Cup version and doesn't count. So we've got 3 competitions to go for in season number 1 of Glory Hunter. Let's see what happens in this season. Well, we had to wait till December before our first match against each other, and Football Manager Wonder Kid icon Freddie Adu opened the scoring for Dad. But in the second half, my team, playing away from home, showed great character and pulled it back level. However, on this day, it was Dad who had the last laugh, and his Benfica side pinched the victory. I wasn't playing badly though, and quite the opposite in fact. Dad had given me my only domestic loss of the season so far, and I was right behind him in the league table by just 2 points in second place. Dad had 2 not-so-secret weapons in Pazzini and Cardoso though, who just both scored a boatload of goals between them. And in January, we both had extra money to spend, as well as Chelsea activating a £41 million release clause for my player João Veloso. One of, if not, the best player in my sporting side. Although Dad had £10 million to spend too in January, he wanted more, so started to sell some of his squad players from his team. Meanwhile, I had my eyes set on some incredible players such as Mario Gomez for just over £6 million, as well as one of the best young goalkeepers in the world in Manuel Neuer from Schalke. I played Porto back-to-back in January and defeated them in the first fixture at home 2-0, with the second coming from João Moutinho very late on. But I could only rescue a point in the second game in Porto through an 84th minute equaliser. But that does put me top of the league. However, Dad has a game in hand to change that. I was attempting more transfers such as Luka Modric, who was still at Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia and looked fantastic. But he rejected me and went to Liverpool instead. Deadline day was full of surprises though, including Cristiano Ronaldo moving from Manchester United to AC Milan. And despite losing Veloso and not getting Luka Modric, I still felt my sporting side was better at the end of the transfer window thanks to some incredible signings that I had made. But the same could be said about Dad's Benfica side after he brought in 3 Brazilian stars to bolster his defence. And that only increased the drama at this very early stage of Glory Hunter, as the match we had against each other could have been the deciding factor. After giving Dad's Benfica side a 6-4 Tonkin, that seen me open up a 6-point gap in the league with just 3 games remaining. Well, Dad, I overtook you halfway through the season, and I held on.
Beat me quite easy, 8 points as well.
Yeah. Lost 1 game across the whole season.
Oh, and that was me as well, so I'm glad I did beat you then, really.
Yeah. You only lost 3?
Yeah. I mean, drew 4 though, as well.
Hold on. Pazzini, 64 goals. Oh my god.
That was a good buy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay, let's have a deeper dive look then. 1 loss, as we mentioned, which was against you. I only conceded 24 goals. You conceded 70.
I mean, I've scored 171, so I scored like 60 goals more than you, but I conceded 50 odd more goals.
Yeah.
And that's what's cost me.
Yeah, absolutely. The profile. Oh my god, you're the 2 top scorers, 45 and 44. Where's my players? And Lee Edson's there. But other than that, I mean, Neuer almost won the most clean sheets in the season. He only joined in January.
Yeah, I think that was the difference. When we come back from January, we both bought keepers to me, and I couldn't get as good a keeper as I really wanted to. I got one that was good, but you got the better one, and there was a couple that I tried to get, they just wouldn't come to me, would they?
Yeah,
so,
Lehman turned you down, didn't he? He went somewhere else. But yeah, fair enough.
So that could be the signing that won you the league, really, I think.
Yeah, held out. Manuel Neuer was absolutely incredible for me. Assist-wise, you had all the top 3 assisters in the league there.
I mean, I can't knock going forward, and it shows that in the goals that I've scored, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just conceded too many.
Yeah.
And that's cost you. So, Benfica, did you manage to win any cup competitions instead? No. Okay, quarter-final of the Champions League, Valencia.
I was disappointed with that one. I played them at home, and I played them away, and I drew 3 each. I lost to them at home 2-0. And I was so disappointed with that because I thought I got that game.
They got a good team, though.
Yeah, I know.
They got one of my all-time favourite strikers, David Villa, who's in his prime. Let's just say that, because that's disgusting. So, yeah, they're very good. They're really, really good. 4th round in the Taça de Portugal by Porto as well. An early exit in that competition. I was hoping you were going to come against them. Because obviously, whoever comes against them is going to cause you problems, isn't it? And, and unfortunately, it did cost me problems. So yeah, you met them really early.
You could go on and win that. And they could still lose against someone else, couldn't they, really? You know, so
I've got to beat them at some point.
It gives you a good chance. So it gives you a 50-50 chance now.
Yeah. So. Runners-up in this Portuguese League Cup, of course, it's not part of Glory Hunter. However...
Please, I got to the final.
Yeah, it goes on the resume.
However, I come up against you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. 2-0 in the final. Yeah. And if we take a look, it's 2 players that I actually bought throughout the season, which actually ended up giving me the win. Bellucci, which was the lonely left winger, and Maldonado, because I lost Miguel Veloso in January.
Yeah, you did.
My best player went to Chelsea. They activated a release clause, £40 million. So I had to bring in other players, and Claudio Maldonado was the man I brought in, so 7.5. He's solid, really, really good player. So that was a good buy for me because that ended up, winning me the cup essentially. So yeah, absolutely fantastic there.
What was my strikers? The 2 strikers. How many goals they scored in total?
In total, well, on your squad, let's have a look. So there we go. 64 in 46 and 62 in 40.
126 goals and 2 players.
And you didn't win a trophy. That is hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Di Maria, 25 and 34. Varela even got 19 assists, 29 assists from good old Rui Costa.
I mean, the good thing, if I stay, I just know I've got to strengthen my defence up.
Gotcha, yeah.
I don't need to touch my forward line, do I?
And you have 33 million, which we've already established is quite a lot of money in this database.
Yeah, I can do quite a bit with that, because I can sell probably a couple of players as well, because I have got a big squad.
Yeah.
And I've got a hell of a lot of loanees coming back.
So many loanees. Both of us have got so many loan players. I've got all the players in purple.
I might not even have to do that, even. There might be a few loanees coming back.
Yeah. So. We haven't actually mentioned yet, you've also got Freddie Adu, who's been knocking around and getting better and better. 18
People are
years
just trying
to
buy him left, right and centre money off me.
Yeah.
But I'm not selling him, so I'll keep him in the squad.
Okay, on to Sporting then. What did I manage to do? I already won the Portuguese League. That's 1 trophy ticked off my cabinet, but there's 2 other competitions I was involved in, and I won the other one. The Taça de Portugal. That's Portugal ticked off. Bang, done in 1 season.
What is it with you with the first season? You just does it bang, see you later.
Also, I won a domestic treble and the Super Cup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was unplayable. 4-0 against Porto in the Super Cup. Fair enough. In the final, 4-0 again.
Well done, mate.
4-0 in the Portuguese FA Cup. The Taça de Portugal.
What do you think is doing me in, really, is that I've got to play against your team that's absolutely brilliant now, and you're not even going to be there. It's going to cause me problems, and you're not even there.
I mean, I signed Mario Gomez, was an unbelievable signing to get in the January window. He turned down Bayern Munich to join me, which is...
I'll tell you what, mate. Why don't you do me a big favour? Why don't you go to another team and buy half of your players?
Oh, I'm tempted. I am tempted. Clerk as well was another signing that's done quite well for me. Kleber, Thiago Silva was phenomenal. Scolacci was a midfielder I brought in. There was a lot of money I managed to bring in the back of that Miguel Veloso transfer.
Yeah.
That has really helped carry on the rest of my season. I mentioned about... I lost 1 game from December where you beat me.
Yeah.
And that was in the Champions League against Toulouse, which is actually a really bad loss considering I was 3-0 up.
Yeah.
It's a bad result.
I mean, I was annoyed with my losing against Valencia, but you'd be even more annoyed, really, wouldn't you?
6-2 away from home after being 3-0 up. It's such a bad... I mean, look at that. I wasn't even conceding goals around there. No. In February, I conceded 1. In March, just the 6 from that one game there.
Just the 6.
Just the 6. Incredible, really. So, the Champions League, we were both knocked out in the same... Oh, no, you went through on that part.
I was in the quarterfinal.
You were in the quarterfinal where you were knocked out. The final is to be played between Valencia and Chelsea.
So, was that close, really?
The team that
Who did Valencia play in the semi-final, then? Because if I beat them, I'd have played...
They beat Real Madrid. Wow.
Well, they deserve to be where they are. Yeah. They beat Real Madrid as well, I think.
Chelsea have placed Fenerbahce, who managed to get to the final. Congratulations to them. So Miguel Veloso might win Champions League.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Premier League, Chelsea finishing 4th. Manchester United went invincible. Oh, Arsenal fans, how do you feel about that? The top 3 scorers, though, Eduardo, Dean Ashton and John Carew. What a time in the Premier League that was, wasn't it?
Just have another look at that league and have a proper look at top 5.
Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Reading. Always do really well.
Well done, Reading.
Yeah. So I've done test runs on this database. Reading are very good on this.
Are they?
Reading are very, very good. Evan van der Sar had the most clean sheets. Wayne Rooney had the most player of the matches. Ronaldo, as we established already, is no longer in the league. He's at AC Milan alongside, which I found this hilarious, Ronaldo. Yeah. So if I can get the AC Milan job at some point and have Ronaldo and Kaká, I am going to be so happy with my life. I mean, what a team that is, by the way. Absolutely disgusting. Who only finished in 2nd place because Jose Mourinho's Inter Milan won the league by 3 points. Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Oh, what a legend. We love that guy, don't we?
Look at him. So Inter Milan have won the Italian Serie A. We've got Juve and Roma finishing 3rd and 4th place. In the other leagues then, in the French league, of course, we're not going for Glory Hunter, but I've still opened it up to have a look at it, and Lyon have run away with that one. But in the Bundesliga, we can see that Bayern Munich have won it quite comfortably.
Yep.
Miroslav Klose with the most goals in that one. Another player that I very much admire from watching afar. Rafael van der Vaart, very good player indeed. Mario Gomez
There's no
got a high average
in that
rate
league,
before he
really,
came. No. They've got Luca Toni as well. I forgot that they had Luca Toni and Miroslav Klose. So no big surprises in the Bundesliga right now. What about the Spanish league? The final league, Spanish league, was won by Barcelona, with Valencia finishing 2nd.
Barcelona didn't lose a game, though.
And Real Madrid finishing in 4th place. Ruud van Nistelrooy is still at the club. Could that be a job, possibly, that I end up going for?
Could be.
Interesting stuff. So the likes of David Villa was the top scorer in that league. Lionel Messi was the highest average rating and the most assists, just 20 years of age.
41 million, mate.
He could be on the move, who knows. Ronaldinho is still in the league as well, just 28 in his prime of his career. Both of them are injured though, which is quite interesting. And David Silva before he went to Manchester City as well.
There's some bargains there.
There's some unbelievable talents, honestly. If you find a bit of money in this game, you're going to be laughing. So, speaking of the jobs, I guess I'm done in Portugal in season number 1.
You're not going to hang around here just to take me on, are you?
Yeah? I could do. I might tag them there. So, is there any jobs? There is. There is a few jobs indeed, even at Tottenham. Atletico Madrid, Tottenham. I mean, Atletico Madrid, maybe. They got £23 million. They've got a young Sergio Aguero, which is quite interesting.
And he's good as well, even though he's young.
Very good at 19 years of age. They've got that one correct, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of their team is still decent. Luis Garcia's there, Thiago Motta, Raul Garcia. I think they got a bit of a weak defence. But the team looks quite good.
That up, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Hertha Berlin finishing 14th place, probably not a candidate. And Spurs, I don't think are going to be good enough right now. Their best player is Dimitar Berbatov.
Do you know, he was one of those players, I'd love watching him, but he always, what was his speed like? Acceleration 14. He always seemed to be very slow, but he was
very calm,
he was like a Teddy Sheringham.
Yeah. First touch, they've underrated that, haven't they? 18. I should be 20.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And his technique's only 18 as well. I should be 22. So, some options then. But maybe I'll sit back and wait. That's because I'm unsure. Maybe that Atletico Madrid could be a way to go. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think. I think, you know, that could be something I'd go for.
as another sort of like teaser, Atletico Madrid, you said 6th in the league. Is that a
6th in the league?
Is that a Europa
that is a
League
Europa
spot?
League spot, or a UEFA Cup spot, as it was called back then.
Yeah.
So that is a very interesting concept. I go into the UEFA Cup and potentially put myself in the hat to be one of the best teams in that competition.
Definitely.
So I've got a feeling they actually won that competition around this time too.
Yeah.
So there we go. But yeah, make sure you are subscribed. You do not want to miss this retro Glory Hunter series. It's already kicked off with a bang. Speaking of which, let's add some trophies into a Glory Hunter cabinet. The retro Glory Hunter certainly started with a bang, as I picked up 2 trophies in the first season, much to my dad's dismay, giving me an early start to filling up my retro Glory Hunter trophy cabinet.